Well, I've never seen so many beautiful flowers.
Yeah. You know, we even told people not to send them, but nobody listened to us.
Well, I'm not sure you realize it, but some of those flowers came from the mayor's office and lots of other public officials.
Honey, look, April, Draper, you must be exhausted. Look, Mike, maybe we should go home.
No. You stay right here. Really, I'd feel better with company. Come sit down, wouldn't you, Draper?
Oh, absolutely. Look, I ordered some food, and it should be out there. I'll go out and get it in just a second.
Well, I'll do it.
No nonsense. You just sit right down. I'll be guest hostess.
I'll help you.
Good.
Well, there is one thing we might do this morning, but I'll leave that up to you.
What's that, Mike?
Well, as you know, I was the executor of Margo's estate. I brought her will with me this morning, just in case you might want to get that formality taken care of as soon as possible.
Oh, look, don't you have to do that in an office or something?
Not necessarily. In fact, the will is quite brief and simple. Except for some bequests to charities, you were the sole beneficiary. Why don't I read it to you? I, Margo Huntington Dorn, a resident of the city of Monticello, residing at 123 Rivershore Drive, being over the age of 21 years and of sound and disposing mind and memory. Maybe I should just skip the legalese. The first clause deals with the payment of debts. The second clause deals with her bequests to several charities, which are listed separately. The total amount being somewhat over $1.5 million.
My God, that's a lot of money.
This is the third clause. I give, devise, and bequeath all the rest and residue of my property after the payments of debts and expenses provided for in paragraph 1 hereof, whether such property be real, personal, or mixed, of whatsoever kind or character, and wheresoever situated, to my beloved daughter, April Kavanaugh Scott. Except for some details about the executor, that's it. All of it. I don't know the exact value of the estate, but I can tell you, you've become a wealthy woman, April. I'm not sure you realize just how wealthy.
Well, I've heard that Margo was well off, but I never had any idea of the numbers involved.
It's only a guess, but I'd say the value of the entire estate is probably about $6 million.
That much?
Of course, about $1.5 million goes to charity, but that still leaves a considerable fortune to be managed. Now, you may want to liquidate some of the holdings, the newspaper holdings in Springfield, for instance, but there's no need to get into that right now.
I don't believe it. You know, it's almost as if I am being rewarded for losing my own mother.
No, honey, come on. You can't think that way.
Excuse me, Draper.
You have to realize that
Thank you.
Margo doing this was her way of showing you how much she cared for you, how much she cared for the baby.
April, yeah, I don't know if you thought about it, but you're my boss now. The station was part of the bequest, wasn't it?
Yes, of course.
You know, when you're feeling better, you're going to have to concentrate on the problems at the station.
Well, that's right. Margo owned it, but she also was the station manager.
I hadn't thought about any of that.
We're gonna have to think about the apartment too, Mike. She owned that, didn't she?
Yes, you did. So now you have to decide what to do with it.
Well, I certainly don't want to live in it, Mike. We already have a house right here.
Nicole, why don't we go on outside and finish up here?
Look, let's, to change the subject a little. I missed Miles at the funeral.
Oh, no, he was there.
He was?
Yeah, excuse me. I saw him in the back of the the chapel. He came in late. It's okay.
God, that's so sad.
I gather that Miles and Nicole are having some problems.
Yes, they're having problems. Isn't everybody having problems right now? I mean, the whole year. It's just...
April, the year has just started. I'm sure things will get much better.
I think they're gonna get a lot better in 3 months when little Julia is born.
Julia? So you've already named the baby?
If it's a girl, yeah. But if it's a boy, I don't know what we're going to do.
You know, Margo was looking forward to this baby. She was even looking forward to being a grandmother. You know, I'm feeling chilly all of a sudden.
Here, let me make a fire, all right?
No. But what you could do, I'd really appreciate it if you could just run up and get me a sweater. I think there's one on the bed.
Sure. Excuse me, I'll be right back.
Thanks. Mike, I've been trying to talk to you alone all day. Could you please tell me what happened the other day down at police headquarters? Draper has told me absolutely nothing except it was a formality.
Well, that's what it was. After all, Draper did find the body.
Mike,
what he had to say was very important.
I'm not a baby. I know it's more than that. Draper is a suspect, isn't he?
Insofar as anyone who might have either motive or opportunity could be considered a suspect. But you'll have to agree in Draper's case, there really wasn't motive.
Wasn't there? He was absolutely furious with Margo, and he did nothing to keep that from the police. I'm sure Chief Mallory mentioned it.
Yes, the subject did come up.
Well, there you go. The police know that there was motive, and as of right now, they have no idea how anyone else could have gotten in or out of that apartment.
Honey, I can't find it upstairs. You'll have to go take a look.
Okay, thanks, honey.
No, I didn't see Miles at the ceremony. It's just as well that Mike didn't tell me. I guess he didn't want to be seen.
Nicole, I don't quite know what's happening, but is it possible that Miles is ill?
Yes, I think so. Well, nothing else would explain his behavior.
Yes, well, now, Mike thought that he looked like a man with a very high fever. Has he seen a doctor?
No, I don't think he would see anybody right now. He doesn't think that there's anything wrong with him.
With him?
He thinks that there's something wrong with me. He thinks that I'm having an affair.
He what?
It's about the last thing that I'd expect from Miles. I mean, he's such a reasonable man. You know, he always had such faith in the power of the rational mind. Well, right now, I'm just very afraid that his mind...
Nicole, do you think it's possible that he's having a breakdown?
I know he is. I'm sure of it. That's what's so horrible. I mean, I'm sure of it. I know he is, and there's nothing I can do about it. And you know, he came to the studio last night, unexpectedly, for no other reason than to accuse me again of having another rendezvous with Derek Mallory. That's his delusion. He thinks that I am in love with Derek Mallory and I am having a passionate affair behind his back.
That's awful.
Excuse me, that phone call was for you, Nicole. It was Chief Mallory, I think. You can take it right over there.
Thank God Miles isn't here.
I'm gonna take these inside.
Hello?
Hello, Nicole. It's Derek. I hope you don't mind me calling you there. I tried to get you at home, but, well, Mrs. Goodman told me that you'd probably still be at your sister-in-law's house.
Well, yes, we just came back from Margo's funeral.
Yes, I know, and I thought you might be feeling low, and maybe you wouldn't want to be alone. I take it Miles still isn't home.
No, he isn't.
Well, it occurred to me that you might have dinner with me. Just a quiet one.
Derek, are you serious? How can you be asking me that?
Oh, well, I didn't know if it'd be a good thing to ask or not. I just thought I'd try. I guess I made a mistake. I'm
sorry, Nicole. Goodbye.
jerk. You never did have a good sense of timing.
Well, I don't know. That might be a thought. Let's check the chimney. I mean, maybe the killer thought he was Santa Claus.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's possible. There was a fire going.
Well, that could have just been a clever ruse. I mean, he could have climbed down the chimney and then made a fire so it would appear that he didn't.
Well,
That's real clever, Calvin. So, what if he did do that? How did he get up? Back up the chimney?
Well, I can't know everything now, can I?
Well, I think you have been way too long. Besides, it's a little too narrow. What about the roof? You checked it out completely?
Well, it's been checked 3 times. There's absolutely no access to the terrace from the roof without the killer jumping 50 feet.
Well, what's wrong with an athletic murder?
Yeah, but he would have to have been a grasshopper to get back up again.
I still think somebody could have used a rope and a grappling hook.
Yeah.
To me, that's the only logical way somebody could have gotten out of here.
You should hear some of the theories I hear in the squad room. I mean, would you believe a human fly? Robbie Moskowitz actually thinks that some guy with suction cups on his feet climbed up the side of the building.
I think Robbie ought to stop reading his comic books.
There are a couple of guys who think there must be hidden passages in the apartment or something.
I don't know, this isn't an English manor. There's nothing. This is a high-rise luxury apartment. It hasn't even been here for 4 years. They don't build secret passageways in places like this.
Yeah, I know. But don't forget what Sherlock Holmes said.
Well, Watson, what did Sherlock Holmes say?
He said when you eliminate all of the possible theories, then the impossible has to be the answer.
Yeah, well, doesn't help very much, does it?
No, I guess it doesn't. We really haven't eliminated all of the possible.
You talking about Draper?
Yeah. I mean, I like the guy too, Red. You know that. I mean, I can't see him standing here clobbering his wife's mother with a poker. I mean, but at the same time, all the facts.
Guess it would be easier to accept the obvious.
Oh, well, I heard what the chief said. I mean, we can't really afford to ignore the obvious, can we?
I prefer what Sherlock Holmes said. There's got to be some way somebody got in here before the murder, hid out, and hid out afterwards.
It's possible, but Draper said he searched all the rooms himself.
Well, maybe he was distracted.
And he wasn't so distracted that he didn't pick up one of these.
Well, he did. He thought the murderer was still here. He needed a weapon.
Yeah, but now how are we going to prove that it wasn't the murder weapon that he had?
I don't know.
I mean, it was just all the soot from the fireplace, all over his hands. Maybe there's another way.
Well, you know there's another elevator in the place.
Yeah, but the service elevators are locked up tight every day at 6 o'clock.
Well, maybe it was unlocked.
Maybe so.
Well, why don't we just go to the basement and check it out, huh?
I'm willing.
Calvin is really afraid about this.
Why?
Well, it's kind of like looking for a lost ring or a wallet or something. You know, you kind of hate to look in that last pocket.
Yeah, well, lady detectives first.
This has got to be the answer, Calvin. The penthouse elevator goes straight up to the penthouse, but the service elevator stops on every single floor.
Yeah, if it was available that night.
Well, Mr. Hill, hello. Do you remember me? I'm Detective Saxon, Monticello Police.
Yeah, sure. How's it going?
Oh, not too good. This is my partner, Calvin Stoner.
Mr. Hill?
Just call me Louie.
Okay, Deborah tells me you run this place down here.
That's right. Let me tell you, sometimes it's like running a battleship.
Louis, I know I asked you about the service elevators.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I told you the last time, there are 5 elevators in the building. 2 for the tenants, 1 of them for the penthouse, 2 service elevators. 1 on this side of the building, 1 on the other side of the building.
Now, you're saying that there are only 2 elevators that could have gone up to the Dorn apartment?
That's right.
Now, you told the police that the service elevators get locked up at 6 o'clock every night, is that
That's
it?
right. Last garbage collection is made at 5:30, then we put the lock on it. The management is real strict about that.
Now, are you absolutely sure that the service elevator was locked the night that Margo Dorn was murdered?
I did it myself, miss, just like I do every night.
Are you absolutely certain now that, I mean, well, you know, there's just no chance that you might have Just overlooked it one time?
No way, mister. No way at all. It cost me my job I do a thing like that. Besides, not just the lock that stops it working. I also turn off the power switch that operates the darn thing. You take my word for it. Whoever got into that apartment got in the regular way. Right up the front elevator.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I've got it right here. Major Barbara. Uh-huh. 5th race on the nose. Okay, you got it. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'll take care of that for you, Mr. White. Right, that's Major Barbara, huh? Ah, good choice. Yeah. Dummy, it's 20 to 1. I guess some people are just optimists. Morning, folks.
Morning.
See, that's a sad business upstairs, isn't it? Felt real bad about having to tell you people what I did. But what else could I do? I guess it looks pretty bad for Mr. Scott that way, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, Oscar.
I got nothing against the man, you understand. Nothing personal. Always thought he was a real nice guy. But, you know, have to tell the truth. Well, didn't I?
Yeah, Oscar, you gotta tell the truth.
Look, Oscar, are you absolutely certain? I mean, there's just no doubt in your mind that you didn't see anyone else. I mean, there was no one hanging around the lobby, no one who might have known Mrs.
No,
Thorne.
I didn't see anyone. Mr. Scott was the only one I let upstairs to see the lady. She had just arrived herself. A minute.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
Well, there wasn't anybody that went into the elevator. Actually, didn't even come into the lobby.
Who do you mean?
Well, you know how you like to step out to get a breath of fresh air, you know, when there's nothing going on in the lobby, of course. And I did see somebody passing the building, someone who did know Mrs. Dorn.
Who was it?
That doctor friend of hers, I don't remember his name now.
Doctor?
You know, the one with the mustache, a good-looking fella. They sure looked kind of funny that night.
You talking about Dr. Kavanaugh?
Yeah.
I'll talk to you in a day or two, April, so we can iron out the details of the will. I'm sure probate won't be long or complicated because the terms of the will are so clear.
Well, thank you, Mike. And Nancy, thank you for everything.
Please, anytime. Listen, you take care of yourself, all right?
Nancy, thank you for coming.
Listen, are you sure you don't want to stay for a little
Right,
while?
right.
Oh, no, I've got to get over to the station. It's pretty chaotic over there. But the schedule's pretty well organized for the next couple of weeks, and I can take care of the news broadcasts. Don't worry.
It's a lot of work.
No, I think I'd rather be busy right now. Honey, take care.
Nicole.
Draper.
Thank you for coming.
Sure. Listen, you drive safely.
Oh, I will.
Say hi to Adam.
Bye-bye.
Oh.
I am exhausted.
Yeah, I can see why. Look, do you want to go upstairs and lie down for a while?
No, I can't sleep.
Well, you can still rest. That's important.
You know, it's amazing how your whole world can turn upside down in a matter of a couple of hours.
Well, the good thing about that is you know for sure that it's going to turn right side up for you again soon.
Oh, yeah? I don't know. I'm afraid.
Sure you're afraid, honey. Got a lot of anxieties. Can you think of all that's happened in the last couple of days? I mean, that's a lot.
You know what I've been thinking a lot about? My dreams. Draper, I have been wondering how much they have to do with what has happened.
It's got nothing to do with what's happened. I mean, did you dream that this was going to happen?
I didn't dream about Margo, but I did dream about you.
All right, if you put 3 detectives out there, that leaves you 1 free to roam around. That sounds good to me. Okay.
Excuse me, Chief, is it okay?
Yeah, come on in. Where you guys been anyway?
We were checking out the Dorn penthouse.
Oh, that sounds good to me. Detective, you know Dr. Corwin?
Oh, yeah, I remember you from the hospital. Deborah Saxon.
Yes, I believe we
Doctor?
did.
This is Detective Stoney. He's working on the case also.
Hi, Doc.
What do you do?
I hope we're not interrupting.
No, you're not interrupting at all. As a matter of fact, you may be very interested in the statement Dr. Corwin just gave us.
I really had no intention of volunteering this statement, Chief.
Well, we asked you, so you didn't have any choice.
No, I guess I didn't.
Well, has it got something to do with Mrs. Dorn?
Yes, Dr. Corwin was Mrs. Dorn's physician. fact, he was in attendance when she came to for a short while.
Oh, I understand she didn't say anything.
Well, that's a false assumption on our part.
What do you mean?
Doctor?
Mrs. Dorn did say one thing before she died. As a matter of fact, it was just one word.
Well, was it somebody's name or something?
No, it wasn't.
Doctor, please give him the circumstances.
Mrs. Dorn's daughter, April Scott, was there. And she asked her mother if, she asked her mother if her husband was innocent.
Is that exactly how she phrased it?
Yes. She was pleading with her mother to say something to that effect, that Mr. Scott was innocent of the crime.
And what did she say?
She said, no.
What?
I'm sorry. She shook her head slightly and said no, and that was all.
Thank you very much, Doctor. We don't need to take up any more of your time.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, no.
Well, looks like we don't need to sit on this any longer, do we?